Hi there. So we've never done a podcast, and this channel has been all about creating stock-related content using AI, and we also offer a course. Now, today is a very special day because I get to have a discussion with Aman, who has worked with me on that AI course for stocks. And Aman, while he was working with me, he cracked a CAT and got into IIM Ahmedabad, and now he's been placed for internship at Axis Capital. This is all about understanding from his experiences for people who are starting their journey either in stock market or, for that matter, they're early stage professionals looking to do MBA from a good place. So this will be more like a freewheeling discussion in between me and Aman. I'm Sharad. I have extensive experience in professional world, like with companies like Microsoft, SAP, and a few startups. And this course was outside my regular work and gave me opportunity to work very closely with Aman. His journey is inspirational. That is why we bring this discussion. So welcome, Aman. Very glad to have this kind of a conversation wherein we are recording this.
Thank you for having me, Sharad. I think even more glad to be here. I mean, I've been talking to you since almost 1.5, 2 years now, and it's been like a very insightful journey for me as well. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So, I think I know a little bit about you, but still, I think if you can just tell us, and even I don't know much about your schooling and what has been your journey so far, apart from last 1.5 years, and a little bit of your aspirations. So maybe just introduce yourself over here.
Yeah. So as you know, my name is Aman, and I come from Kolkata, and I am a BCom honors graduate from Calcutta University. And I would say my story is a little unconventional, leading to where I am today is because after 10th standard, I left schooling to try out different health treatments due to my health issues. And what followed over the next 5, 6 years was mostly me trying out different health treatments, traveling a lot across the country, but things didn't work out as I would want to, and hence is that I started later. I switched to start working, and over the next 3 years, I helped two startups achieve profitability. The latest one was I was working with a US-based startup in the credit card consultation space. And yeah, it is then that I thought that I wanted something more from life, and I decided on giving CAT, joined IIM Ahmedabad.
Yeah, that's good. I know your journey has been inspirational even for me, and definitely for people who are hearing, they'll get to know more about it, why it is inspirational. So you mentioned that you had health issues. I'm aware of that. But tell me, like when you said that up till 10th you're in regular schooling, and then 11th and 12th you did was it homeschooling?
Yeah, so it was primarily homeschooling only. It was mostly like I took admission in a school where no attendance was required. So 11th and 12th standard, mostly I used to travel across the country to try out different health treatments from Ayurveda to allopathy, homeopathy. So I have muscular dystrophy, and there's no like medical cure for this right now. But Ayurveda claim that there's some treatment that can cause some relief, and even homeopathy claims. So you naturally want to try out different health treatments. Even after 12th standard, I took a 1 year break in between just to focus on my health. So I did not join college immediately. Also, I wanted to do engineering like earlier. I feel like I'm a quite an analytical person. So computer science engineering was something that automatically interested me. But due to this, all of this like panning out, I had to like let go of that at the time. And yeah, even now, since due to that only, I do actively try to learn coding, and like I'm involved in the tech space as well a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that is the reason we got connected. I think just for the sake of this discussion and for people like I was involved with a startup by the name of Navkiran, and Aman was interning over there. And like for a good 9 to 12 months, we were just talking about what our roles were at Navkiran and doing our part. And then slowly we started talking about stocks, and that's how we discovered that there is some common interest. And I think it was good 1 year that we were just talking about stocks even after that. I think we started talking somewhere in 21, 22,
Yeah.
but we started on this journey together on stocks and all, I think somewhere around 23, late 23 or somewhere around 24, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, around October, November of 2023. So it's been 2 years now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. So when we started talking, I think I could clearly sense that you have deep interest in stocks. And I think you had already tried trading by that time and a little bit of probably swing trading also, but you had tried options and all kinds of things. So tell us about how you discovered, was it your family thing? Was it your friends thing that you got into stocks? And then what was your journey till that time, because I know very little about it in terms of when we started. What was your journey till then for stocks?
I so I got introduced to trading mostly by one of my family friends. So he discussed with me about, he used to trade a lot and he used to trade full time at the time. And he started discussing with me slowly regarding stocks and what he was doing. And I found interest in it because it was something related to finding patterns in charts. And I feel that that is something that's very natural to me as well, given that I feel that I'm very analytical. So this pattern recognition, technical analysis, this stuff was automatically interesting to me. So I started talking to him. We started connecting and we started analyzing charts together. And slowly that became that passion. And this was back in the third year of my college. And yeah, after that, I started trading properly. I tried options, swing trading, intraday. I think what stuck with me was swing trading. So options is anyways, option buying is a very dangerous game. I mean, if you have that kind of risk appetite and that confidence, you can. But yeah, it's and even intraday is given my risk appetite and my the way I go about, I feel like swing trading hits the perfect spot for me.
So before we got in, did you burn yourself in anything? Was your stock trading, and do you think that you were really learning at that time? Or what was driving you? Because I think while you're not earning full time, where was the capital coming from?
Capital was mostly from my own savings, my dad's savings, etc. And in the beginning, I didn't even trade properly with money. So a lot of the time went into learning on paper with
Okay.
that friend. So I spent around almost 6 months just learning about how to actually go about it, because if you're doing short term trading, uh, managing your emotions is a big part of it, right?
Yeah.
And managing real time stock data that's coming to you and then processing that, it's a big part of it. So you have to get accustomed to it before you actually burn your hands. But also until you burn your hands, until you actually make a loss, you don't know how much. I mean, you may do paper trading for a long time, but until you see that loss on your sheet in real time, all the training and all the emotion management goes for a toss when you start having big losses. So that time you need to try to manage, and that practical learning only comes when you start actually investing.
Yeah, that is true. Practical training comes only when you put your real money, and I think the emotions are the key part of it. As much as we wish that it is all about analytics, it's not about analytics so much. And I think at some time when we started working together in context of you were juggling three jobs, or maybe, and like while you started interning with me, and we decided that we'll do this together and you will support me. And so how was it like, with your health issues, then doing three jobs, all said and done, my expectations were also there. And I am sure that were you working full time or getting more salary, there's more. How are you managing to do that with three jobs and health issues?
Yeah, so it just so happened that I started with one, and then another opportunity came, and it's just that I didn't want to let go of that. So I started with that as well, and then the opportunity to work with you came, and then again I didn't want to let go of that, and I slowly started managing my time effectively. Mostly my full time job required me to work around 8 to 9 hours, and it was a remote job. So again, there was I could save time. Like many people burn 1 to 2 hours a day just on travel and getting ready for the office, etc. So remote job kind of gives you that advantage. right? And the rest of the time, hence I could focus on working for Navkiran and then work for you. So yeah, I had been working long hours, like I started working long hours back then, but I think that helped me a lot, because even since I've come here, I mean, so that working long hours became normal for me since back then only. So I did not feel that much of a heat of IIM Ahmedabad that my peers are feeling. So it kind of helped.
And then somewhere you decided to do that. That's what's interesting. That while you're doing three jobs, usually people don't have time to, even think of other things. And you kind of felt that you should do MBA, and you wanted. So how did that? Was it always your aspiration to go and do MBA from IIM, or was it like it just started to brew sometime while you were working with us?
No, it just was an instant decision actually. It's not at all in plans. And I decided to pursue CAT only like around 3.5 months before CAT. So it was more about like firstly, I always wanted to do something more, right? Because the job, like the full-time job was there, but it was a small startup and the scale of operations was also very small. So I wanted to kind of like grow myself, learn more, and I was not able to find that like window of opportunity to get that exposure and like upskill myself. Also, one more interest, as you know, that finance has been my interest, and I wanted to make that switch to finance as well. And that I was not actually getting an entry into finance through other means, right? The trigger, however, came due to like me reading an accessibility article on one of the IIM pages, that that IIMs have become much more accessible than before, and like given my health issues, I like that was something that used to stop me from doing an MBA. And then once I read those and I did my research, I understood that it was actually possible for me to go and live there and do. So I just immediately started preparing for CAT. A very like impromptu decision.
Yeah. And like when we were working with Navkiran, that time also you would have, rubbed off a lot of people who were from IIMs, and as well as because we are organizing these sessions at IIMs and other D school institutes.
Yeah.
I think that would have also had some impact on your thought process, and your exposure would have been different because of that. Probably that was there in your subconscious. Is that correct? Or
Yes, definitely. So that was there in my subconscious, that I always used to think that I mean, I used to see people like Pratik Ranjan and going and doing these sessions on IIM. Then I used to interact with IIM students a lot, right, for my job.
yeah,
So that kind of had like that was an aspiration somewhere, but I always used to shrug it away, thinking that it's not like practically possible me going to another city and living there for 2 years, given the physical challenges. But yeah, once you take that leap of faith, I think life also helps you, and I think things just fall into perspective.
that's good. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, I think definitely. So the other thing now, you said that you only decided to pursue MBA like in 3 months or 4 months before the CAT exam. How did you prepare? Because people spend a year or two and they go to coaching classes, then separate mock sessions. There's so much that happens. How did you manage to do that? Like,
Yeah. So one advantage that I had was that CAT is an aptitude test, and a majority of the chunk of it is analytical. I mean, there are three sections. Out of that, two sections are mostly like testing your analytical skills, right? And that part I had covered. Like I had the base for it. I just needed to practice a bit. And CAT is very different to your traditional exams, because like it's about testing your skills rather than your knowledge, right? So you just need to upskill yourself rather than any kind of coaching or anything only helps you if it's enabling you to upskill, right? Ultimately, your goal is to like be able to read stuff quicker, be able to solve like basic common sense questions only quicker. So that logical thinking, pattern recognition has to be there. And for me, so how I went about preparing was that since I did not have much time and I had like 3 engagements already going on, So I decided to give like a couple of hours early in the morning and a couple of hours late in the night. And I decided to not go like with any tuition, like not take any live classroom tuition or as such, because that would only like, contribute to wasting more time. So I took a I took a self-paced course for the quant section so that I can at least cover the syllabus quickly and I can get started with it. And for VARC, though, I just started reading a lot. I read A1 articles. I started solving RC questions, I think, because my focus again was only on building skills, like comprehension skills. Because if you can read and comprehend quickly, you will be able to ace it. Like many people I know here as well who did not prepare at all for VRC. I mean, they just had that like habit of reading since childhood and they could ace like 99.9% in VRC without doing anything. I mean, it's just skill that you're building.
So, in genuine sense, the preparation for CAT begins way earlier than, like 3 months or 1 year. It's all about developing your reading muscle and then ability to identify the thesis of that and then be able to filter the right things to be able to answer well. Is that how you will phrase it now? Like, what should people do when they are, going through graduation? Because most of the times it's like, people think of it, I'll start preparing now and now I'm preparing. But ideally speaking, and those are the skills which you carry for life. So what would be your advice to people who are now still aspiring or next set of people who would be applying for this?
Yeah, so you can actually, I think, make your lifestyle around preparing for CAT. It's like you don't have to purposely prepare for CAT. You can just make small changes in your lifestyle. You can start reading a bit more. I think that will automatically cover for your VRC section. You can again start solving Sudoku a little bit. Maybe start playing chess a little bit. So those pattern recognition games that will automatically take care of your DILR section. So I used to play chess before as well. So DILR I never practiced anything for DILR as well. I just took a a 30 mock pack from Career Launcher, and I gave mocks, and that was my only preparation for DILR. So again, if you're doing this since a long time, you don't have to prepare anything as such.
I think the way to prepare, especially in this AI era, is that you let it simmer. You identify your areas of interest and then figure out how do you develop skills around that or hone your skills, because any skill anyhow can become obsolete any day. But it's primarily building your lifestyle around genuine habits of driving curiosity, and that's what I can see when you're talking about it. So that's good. So how has been the transition, like living at home and then of course your health issues and then cracking IIM? I know you've been happy and good to see you that happy, but then how has been the transition when you transitioned from home to IIM? Is it comfortable? Something changed?
So now it's comfortable, I would say, but of course initially there was friction when I came here. I also had my reservations regarding how will I be able to live here, because at home everything was built around my comfort so that I can live my life independently, I would say. But here though I would have to then get some changes made in my room and the setup and everything. So that apprehension was there, but the college was decently supportive in this as well, I would say. They allowed me to make a few changes in the room, and they allowed me to make the room according to me, and they gave me a single room with attached washroom. So again, slowly and slowly I got the habit of being able to live here alone. And yeah, now it's going nice. I mean, there's a lot of academic load, and yeah, those things are there, have been there. But in terms of physically, I think no, it's fine.
And how has been your experience in terms of being inspired by the faculty, peers? Do you see that, you did homeschooling and then I don't know exactly which institute you did your BCom, but now this rub off with some of the best. I'm sure that this gives you exposure to actually rub off with some of the best. Do you really feel that the quality of education that you're now going through, this is like kind of very different from what you had earlier, or is it just incremental for you?
The quality of education is definitely higher because the quality of professors is way higher than I would have seen earlier. I mean, the amount of knowledge that the professors here have is, I mean, phenomenal. I've seen like the professors are like top quality. also in terms of the students, so earlier before coming here again, I was very underconfident. I used to think that I don't know what kind of students I'll like have to compete with there, and what kind of geniuses, and how will I be able to manage there. But once I came here, I realized that these are just hardworking people. It's not that, I mean, there are a few like very intelligent people as well, but it's not that there's something very extraordinary about them. It's just that they've worked hard for a very long time, which I
Mm.
can do, and that I did that as well in my first term, and I was able to like manage decent grades here, right? So again, that bubble burst of there's just some generational talent or something. It's just that they worked hard for a long time, and if I do too, and if anyone does like work hard for a and be like is diligent, is consistent for a long time, they can do well.
It is the discipline that matters, and now I think for you it is the IIM, and the pedigree from IIM is no longer mythical. That it become like, yeah, I am also good.
Yeah. So initially there was this imposter syndrome that you have, no? That where have I come? I mean, what kind of people there is? Like a gold medalist from IIT Kanpur, a gold medalist from IIT BHU, silver medalist from IIT Delhi, 200 percentilers, many 99.99 percentilers, and this is all within my section.
Yeah.
So if you see the CVs of theirs, I mean, you'll feel like what place have you landed in? But when you interact in classes, when you interact offline, then you get to know that these are just normal people. They've worked hard, but they're just as normal as any other college going person.
That is the discipline that matters, and your commitment and sincerity. Yeah, good. So now you also got placed for your internship. Tell us about where you are doing your internship. What was the experience? What were your anxieties? And what was your interview experience like? I will come to the interview separately, but let's just talk through your journey on that.
So I am currently placed at Axis Capital for the markets role. So it's basically a trading role. Well, I'll probably be able to I mean, in the internship, I'll get to assist the trader on the trading floor with trades, giving him trade ideas and stuff. And later, if I am able to convert the PPO, I'll myself then get to trade for the company. So that's mostly what my role is going to be. And coming to the experience, so I mean, a huge chunk of the MBA, I mean, the first half of the first year of MBA is about placements. I mean, as soon as the curriculum started here, within the first week, we got emails from the recruitment secretary to start working on our CV. We had our batch meet quickly, and it was a long 1 month long CV making procedure that we had. So that is something that is like one of a kind I've seen. I mean, like you are forced to think so much about your past life, that whatever you can gather from your life, and then how you can frame it well within one sentence, right? And like you're given access to your seniors' CVs to look at, and then like you constantly keep on like adding pointers in your CV and then getting them reviewed by your seniors, then again rephrasing them, adding them. It goes on for 1 month, so it's a one pager, but a lot of effort goes into it.
So it's a lot about reflection and refining that
Yeah,
reflection.
yeah,
Repeat it.
yeah. By the end of it, even you yourself won't recognize that this is your own CV. I mean, it's a lot about using the right words, and small things that they point out, small refinements every time that you go to your seniors. It's like after 15-20 CV reviews, ultimately that one pager that comes out that will impress your recruiter. So
So, did you do any kind of, things to add to your portfolio, or while you were doing the resume, or let's say that somebody who's looking to build a career in equity research, what do you think should go into their portfolio? And was there anything specific that you did to, showcase that?
so after I decided on giving CAT, of course my goal was to get into finance, since I was going to do an MBA. So I registered for the FA exam as well, And this May I did like I gave my CFA level 1 exam, and I think that helped a lot for me to get finance shortlist, because otherwise there was nothing much in my resume in finance, and I did not have work in finance as well. So again, if someone is looking to build a career in finance and they want something, especially for engineers, I mean, there are many engineers here as well who have completed their CFA certifications. So I think CFA helps a lot. Other than that, you can do some finance internships, you can do some finance projects as well. Those keywords will help highlight your finance pedigree. And yeah, I think for finance, they mostly see your academics as well. So if you have had consistently good academics prior, so that will automatically help you get shortlist. If not, then CFA is a way to show, or a finance project is a way to show.
So if I can ask, what was your academic record like before you got into IIM? Was it like really stellar, or was it like an average? Were you barely making? What was it?
So up until 10th standard, it was nice, I would say. And then since I left schooling after 10th, it just completely fell off. My grades were, I mean, my 12th and my graduation grades are quite bad. I mean, from IIM Ahmedabad standard. So of course, I was also very apprehensive about shortlists and if I would get any. But again, CFA level 1 helped. My CAT percentile also helped a little bit. And working with you, I think I added that project in my CV as well. So a lot of finance was there in my CV to for them to be able to convince to give me a shortlist. And then again in the interview, of course, I could explain to them as to why my grades dipped. Right? They're also humans. I mean, it's understandable the kind of circumstances that I had. So
Yeah. So before we get to your interview, let me just be a little selfish and ask. So how do you think our interaction helped you? Like we did, I think, good year or so, and everything right from designing algorithms. You helped me clear up the templates, then deploy it. So there's a lot that you did over there, and you got some exposure to coding also. So how much did that help? What was the experience?
actually, that helped a hell lot. I mean, a hell lot, because I think two main parts to it. One was learning from you, which is because you, since you've been investing for more than I think 20 years now. So I see that, like, with my interaction with you, I got to know how to, look at macro trends. I think you're very good at understanding like overall long-term macro trend, and then what stocks to pick or what trend is emerging. So according to that, what stocks to pick at the right time. So I know we discussed about the stock called Hoodco, you picked ITC, and you saw those trends earlier, like way earlier before they actually started reflecting in the stock price. That learning was huge because I was coming from more of a technical analysis knowledge, short term knowledge, versus you coming from a more fundamental and a lot of industry exposure. That kind of complemented with my skills. And secondly, I think it gave me a lot of purpose as to what to do. I mean, being consistently involved in the markets also, like, given that I had a full-time job and I had another internship going on, so uh, I could easily lose purpose and lose track of the markets in between. But since I was working with you, so I was always updated about the markets, learning something new. You were making videos, you were making post content. I got to learn a lot of new things as well, like theoretical as well as practical, working with you. I think that helped a lot. It came through in my interviews as well. Like a lot of concepts I could discuss in my interviews as well, very smoothly. We did a lot of number crunching as well. I remember on Nifty.
There was this trying to figure out at what time Google Finance updates the number on a given date and time, and then how does it affect that itself. I think took us good 15 days, little tweak here, little tweak there. Then I think that was, and in the process, I think we went a lot in detail, and those are the discussions. Actually, a lot of things get done in those details. Finally, what you might see is a very summarized and an abstract outcome, but it's those details that matter.
Yeah. I remember we did a Nifty analysis as well as to how to, when to, like, how to set up your SIP so that
Yeah,
you can make an alpha on Nifty while investing.
extensive research we did on that, how the markets have moved, when to invest, When do you think it is overvalued? And then we had one on the entire how the P's have changed over the years, like what is the min, what is the max, extensive such. Yeah, definitely for me also, I don't think so that in a given couple of years I would have moved so much if I wouldn't have gotten support from you. And the very important thing for me is that you are very passionate about it. Usually after working for so long in the industry, it's very the means my habit is to look at not only macro trends, but I also give inputs at a very macro level, and then I expect people to go in detail and then come back with the details. So I think that's something which for me also the realization that yes, we have I can give you problem at that level, and usually you don't work with so much of generation gap inside the corporates, but this experience was phenomenal. And while you don't have the hierarchies of the corporate, this is a very good experience. So that's good. I think the other thing now, you said that, yeah, this helped you in interview and all the other things which were, give us like a sneak preview of what went in the interview, who were the people you were talking with, what according to you were they looking for you, and especially somebody who's preparing for equity research, how should they be, interacting in these kind of setups? With water, I think as of now, your experience is still very fresh, and I would say also only one or couple of them, but just your experience, because that's fresh and also very practical at this point in time.
So I think when they are looking to hire a fresher, I mean, by fresher, I mean a fresher in finance.
Yeah.
They're mostly looking for passion and that long-term vision for finance. I think a long-term like dedication or like commitment to building a career in finance. I think that came through really well in my interview because I am naturally very passionate about finance and I want to build a career long-term, right? And how the process started was that like finance interviews are very impromptu here. I mean, the college from the college placements that the finance interviews happen. I mean, you apply and then before leaving the shortlist, only they start. I mean, the company start the HR calls you one day and they schedule an interview in half an hour. So it was one Saturday morning. I remember I was sleeping at the time, 10 a.m. Typical MBA Saturday morning. So I had done a late nighter, so I was sleeping in the morning. And 10 a.m. I got a call from the HR from Axis Capital. She was saying she just told me that the head of HR wants to talk to you once. It'll be a short call, and we're scheduling it at around I think around 10:30 it was scheduled. I quickly got up, wore my shirt, and started my research on Axis Capital as to what it does, what are the business arms, etc. Everything. And quickly got to know a little bit about the business, and I joined the call at 10:30. And then it was the HR call was mostly around my interests and what motivates me to join Axis, what do I know about Axis, etc., etc. A few days later, then they released the shortlist, and then I had my first buddy call, let's say the first round of interview, where again he asked me. So initially they were looking to interview me for the investment banking role. So they asked me questions regarding what's currently happening in the market, regarding my interest as well, my background, etc., etc. That's what the buddy asked me. And then he gave his feedback to the team, and then I was scheduled for the second round. Now, the second round was scheduled with the vice president of the investment banking division of Axis Capital. And it was around a 20-minute chat with him. And he started off with talking about my interests, what motivates me, etc., etc. A little bit technical questions as well on stock valuations and the current macroeconomic landscape, tariffs, etc., etc. What's happening with Nifty, etc. And from conversation, what he got to understand was that I am more fit for the trading role, given my experience in trading as well as my interest in pattern recognition and my ability to work with numbers and stuff. So he then told me that he'll refer me to the trading department, and he'll refer me for the trading role, the markets role of the organization. So then immediately on that day itself in the evening 3:30, I got another round, like my round 3 call scheduled with the MD of Axis Capital. And in that interview as well, it was mostly about so in the ND round, I think it was more about my fit with the company and again understanding my motivations, a few of the technical questions around. So he asked me to analyze Nifty in front of him. So I did that. Um, um, there was one person in that call from the equity valuation side as well. So he asked me questions on DCA valuation, etc., just to gauge my interest, whether I'll be able to also work in the investment banking division as well if they were to put me. But again, they went ahead with the sales trading role as well. It was a 15-20 minute call with the MD, and they told me that they'll let me know about what happens later. And that day evening only, I got a call from the placement committee that they've selected me and they're offering me the trading roles. Like the process was very quick and 3 rounds.
So I think all the preparation and the clarity that you want to get into something like this paid off.
Yeah, if you can show that clarity, for example, I built my story around pattern recognition, my interest for chess, and how that ties to technical analysis, because it's all about like everything is related to pattern recognition. And I was naturally good at DLR section as well, and ThinCat. So I tied everything around that. And also one more thing which helped was being brutally honest. So if I'm not good at stock valuation, for example, I just directly told them that I'm not very good at this. I'm rather much more good at technical side of it. But I think that helped a lot.
That's good. Yeah, so I think that's good that now you have this internship. Now, what's going on in your portfolio? Are you still able to give some time, or is it like, yeah, for now it rests and I have to do it for access capital? How much of the market are you still tracking?
In the last couple of, or let's say the last 3-4 weeks, not as much. Last couple of weeks, not as much, I would say. Especially since I got the offer from Axis. It's been more of either partying, or it's been more of like we had our midterms as well in between. So I have kind of lost track of my portfolio a little bit right now, but I'm planning to get back to it now since that everything is over. Now I have that extra time spare with me, so I'll again start analyzing stocks, maybe analyzing technical.
That's good. Yeah, I think that passion should continue. And the way, we started this conversation that you can be a good analyst only if you are putting in your real money. Because for me also, my journey has been that I used to invest before the Lehman crash, but then I was working in a very high expectation job. So during that time, I was not focusing. And when the markets crashed, I was never in panic. But after markets came back, I just didn't have interest or the continuity, and I exited after having seen the crash. So not that I panicked and I sold, but I then started investing in mutual funds through different channels because that was much easier, because as a salaried employee, a lot of your time goes into focusing there. And then in 2020, when I wanted to again get into the market, I said I'm investing my money on my own. So this third or fourth innings for me in the markets. But mostly what I have realized is that only if you're putting in real money and the money corpus is big enough for you, then only you will be able to actually sense where you are headed with the market. And it's not easy to, they say that it's not easy to beat the benchmarks. It is true. If you're playing with very small numbers, then yes, but if you're playing with larger corpuses, which is larger for you, not like you're a $20 million person and you're investing $50,000, then that's a very small corpus. For me, 50K might be big. So yes, continue to invest in portfolios of your own if your access capital allows you to do that. And I think you're enjoying your journey. It has been a pleasure working with you, and I would strongly recommend to all youngsters and all corporate employees to align on specific interest and work together. Because that's a way of giving back also. And I think. Not only this, a lot of times, at least my viewpoint is that if you are hiring somebody, it also puts you in a kind of a very good, because you have to learn from them. And when you have to do something together, you have to align. So it has been a very good learning for me, and your journey is inspirational, Aman. Wish you good luck. And I think whomsoever is tuned in, you can definitely draw inspiration and you can ask any questions, and Aman would be happy to answer that. Any parting words for now?
Uh, Not as such. I think the feeling that you shared is likewise. I mean, I have too gotten to learn a lot from this experience, and I think a huge chunk of the reason of why I am here and why I got the internship at Access as well is because I was working with you, and that continued my interest in finance. It could be that due to job again, just as you lost, you lost that continuity in between. I would have lost that too probably had I not worked with you. That gave me that continuity and that purpose every day. So now that now since my job will be in finance, of course, I can build up from here.
Yeah, every brick in the wall matters. So thank you. And anyone who wants to see the course, it's available on Udemy. The link would be available. And wish good luck to everyone. Thank you very much, Aman. Thank you.
How was this?
It was good. Aman, I'll stop recording. We'll edit this part.
Yeah.